The great hall of the Galactic Concord stretched for miles in every direction. Its ceiling disappeared into darkness, and strange lights floated in the air like captured stars. Ambassador Daniel Carter stood alone on a small platform in the center, surrounded by 12 towering seats where the elder races of the galaxy watched him with cold, ancient eyes. Daniel was 43. He had spent 20 years learning alien languages, customs, and politics. He had believed, truly believed, that humanity could find its place among the stars through diplomacy and patience. Now, standing in this hall, he felt like a child called before a court of giants. The Kathari representative spoke first. It was an insectoid creature, 8 feet tall, with 4 arms and eyes that reflected no light. Its voice clicked and buzzed through the translation device. The Concord has reached a decision regarding the human species. Daniel kept his face calm. He had learned long ago that showing fear to these beings was like bleeding in water full of sharks. Humanity has expanded to 17 star systems in less than 300 years, the Kathari continued. Your population grows without control. Your ships travel further each decade. Your scientists ask questions that should not be asked. This cannot continue. A crystalline being shifted in its seat. This was the Voron ambassador, a creature made of living glass that sang when it moved. We do not wish conflict with your kind, it said, voice like wind chimes in a storm. But the Concord has protected this galaxy for 100,000 years. We have seen species like yours before. They rise fast, burn bright, and destroy everything around them before they destroy themselves. Daniel wanted to argue, to list all the good humanity had done, the colonies, the trade, the cures, but he knew it would not matter. These beings had made their decision long before he entered the hall. The Sindari representative floated forward. It had no true body, just a shape made of pale light and shadow. As a telepath, its words pressed directly into Daniel's mind. You will surrender all military vessels. You will accept population controls. You will hold no voting rights in this assembly. You will be watched, guided, and contained. This is not punishment. This is protection for you and for all others. Daniel's hands shook slightly. And if we refuse? He thought. The Kathari made a sound that might have been laughter. Then we will take corrective action. Your species is young and clever, but you have 17 worlds. We have 10,000. Your fleet numbers 300 ships. Ours numbers 3 million. This is not a negotiation, Ambassador. This is a notification. You have one of your solar years to comply. Daniel returned to Earth on a ship that felt too small and too slow. He sat alone in his cabin for most of the journey, staring at the stars humans had dreamed about for thousands of years. Those stars did not belong to humanity. They never had. The elder races had simply allowed humans to borrow them for a while. When he landed, he went straight to the Emergency Council. President Nathan Cole sat at the head of a long table, his face gray with stress. Admiral Lisa Morgan stood near the window, arms crossed, jaw tight with anger. Around them sat generals, scientists, and politicians, all speaking at once. We can fight, Admiral Morgan said. Our ships are faster. Our weapons are newer. We can make them pay for every system they try to take. And then what? Asked the senator. They have 3 million ships. We have 300. The math does not work. Daniel took a long breath. I think they are afraid of us, he said. Not because we are strong, but because we are unpredictable. They have ruled this galaxy for 100,000 years. They have seen everything, done everything, controlled everything. And then we appeared and did not follow their rules. We grew too fast. We asked too many questions. We did not bow low enough. They are not evil. They are just old, and old things fear change more than anything else. So we cannot win, Cole. Not in a war, not in negotiation, not in any game they control. Then a man entered, old, with white hair and eyes that seemed to look through walls. He wore a simple gray coat, carrying no papers or devices. This was Dr. Kevin Brooks. He had spent 30 years studying the fabric of space itself, not travel through it, but folding it, creating spaces that existed beside the universe, invisible, unreachable by anyone who did not know they existed. Admiral Morgan frowned. You're talking about hiding. I'm talking about disappearing completely, Brooks replied. We give them what they want. We pull back to Earth. We let them think they have one. And then, slowly, quietly, we move everything that matters into places they cannot find. Our people, our cities, our ships, our future. Let them believe we are contained. And then, in the darkness they cannot see, we grow. President Cole nodded. Prepare the message. Tell the Concord we accept their terms. All of them. The message went out. Humanity surrendered. Humanity retreated. In the shadows, something new began to grow. Commander Samantha Wells stood on a hill overlooking New Eden, the largest city on Kepler 442b. 2 million people had built their lives here over 3 generations. Children walked in long lines toward transport ships, confused, carrying toys and questions. A little girl stopped near Samantha. Why do we have to leave? Do we do something wrong? Sometimes, Samantha said carefully, we have to leave a place we love to find a place that is even better. It does not mean we did anything wrong. The girl nodded and walked on. Samantha watched her go, then turned toward her duties because that is what soldiers do when the world falls apart. The same scene repeated on 16 other worlds. Humans packed their lives in boxes, said goodbye to homes they had built with their hands, and boarded ships, watched through windows as their cities disappeared. The elder races reported. Humans obeyed. The threat was ending. What they did not see was the work happening on Earth in secret. Dr. Kevin Brooks worked without sleep. Thousands of scientists and engineers built machines that had never existed before. Space was not flat. It was folded, layered, with gaps, tiny spaces where nothing existed. Brooks had found a way to make those gaps massive, big enough to hold cities, big enough to hold worlds. 8 months after the surrender, the first civilian transfers began. Families stepped through doors that led into valleys that did not exist on any map, with skies of soft purple and twin suns in the distance. Buildings rose where no buildings could have been. This was full one. Transfers accelerated. Whole cities were moved piece by piece. Ships were constructed in hidden shipyards floating in impossible skies. Humanity shrank in the visible universe, grew in the folds. Commander Samantha Wells oversaw the final evacuations. On her last night on Earth, she watched the real moon rise over the real ocean, something she had never seen before. Admiral Lisa Morgan found her there. It is time, Morgan said. Samantha nodded, turned away from the ocean, walked through the door, and entered a universe the galaxy would never find. Behind her, the door closed. From the outside, it looked like nothing at all. The Concord Assembly reported, humanity is contained, controlled, resolved. They believed it. Humanity, however, thrived. 43 million humans built, created, explored, trained, and remembered. They remembered the ultimatum, the fear, the constraints. And one day, they would show the galaxy exactly what humanity had become. But not yet. Patience was the greatest weapon of all. 15 years later, in the visible universe, humanity was a footnote. The elder races moved on to other concerns. In the full dimensions, 43 billion humans grew. They built cities, schools, hospitals, research centers, and fleets capable of slipping between dimensions. They waited quietly, invisibly, because the universe belonged to those who could wait the longest. Humanity had learned to wait. A war erupted between the Ketheri Empire and the Varan Collective over a nebula neither species truly needed. Billions were at risk. Admiral Morgan, in fold space, watched projections of casualties. If the war follows historical patterns, she said, roughly 4 billion deaths over 50 years. Morgan looked at the fold fleet. We act now, but not with destruction. We stopped this war without firing a single shot. Using Derek Palmer's dimensional projection technology, every warship lost power simultaneously. Life support ran on emergency backups. Panic and confusion spread. Then a single message appeared. I am Maria Santos, president of the Hidden Confederation of Humanity. 20 years ago, you told us to surrender. We complied. We retreated. You believed us broken. We were not. Today, we demonstrate, not to conquer, not to punish, but to show that the rules have changed. In this war, where we act permanently, the galaxy belongs to all who have the courage to survive, not just those who fear power. The fleet's powered back up, shaken. The galaxy realized it had underestimated humanity. Using Derek Palmer's dimensional projection technology, every warship lost power simultaneously. Life support ran on emergency backups. Panic and confusion spread. Then a single message appeared. I am Maria Santos, President of the Hidden Confederation of Humanity. 20 years ago, you told us to surrender. We complied. We retreated. You believed us broken. We were not. Today, we demonstrate, not to conquer, not to punish, but to show that the rules have changed. In this war, where we act permanently, the galaxy belongs to all who have the courage to survive, not just those who fear power. The fleet's powered back up, shaken. The galaxy realized it had underestimated humanity. Admiral Morgan passed away peacefully at 94. Commander Wells spoke at her memorial, honoring a woman who refused to surrender when surrender seemed inevitable. Dr. Kevin Brooks had passed, but his legacy lived in every impossible sky, every city, every fleet. Amanda Price continued his work, expanding humanity's understanding and reach. Humanity did not seek conquest. They sought survival, freedom, and a future where no species would ever be silenced by fear. And in the spaces between the stars, they waited, guardians of the universe, ready to act, patient and wise. The galaxy had changed forever. Fear had failed, control had failed, and hope had prevailed. Humanity had shown the universe what it truly meant to survive and to inspire. And in the folds of space, silent yet ever-present, humanity began to dream again, not for power, not for war, but for the endless wonder of a future they would protect for all.